Hello viewers, I welcome you back to Akoma TV, where we talk about the latest in politics in the country. Today, before we get into the matter, kindly like, comment, subscribe to our channel and put on your notification bell so that you'll be the first one to receive the content as soon as we drop them. Okay, to the matter of the day, Mr. Kabiru Mahama, who is a spokesperson of Bawumia, has come out with a very strong ties to support Bawumia to be the next flag bearer, consequently the next president of the Republic of Ghana. This is what Mr. Kabiru Mohammed said about Bawumia. Bawumia was the one that went on parliament during the 2012 election petition to stand against Chachuchikata in the witness box to testify to help the MPP. Even though they lost, he was the one that had the courage to support MPP or to stand in the witness box for MPP. He also went on and said that Bawumia is the right person because of the radical transformation of the economy. He has experience in governance and politics, and he has been elected as vice president for 4 consecutive times in Africa. It means there's nobody in Africa that has the privilege or the opportunity to be elected as the vice president in a country in Africa. So he goes on to say a lot of things about Bawumia. Let's go and listen to what Mr. Kabiru Mahama has to say about Bawumia.
People would ask us, why do we think that Dr. Bawumia is the best person? And that answers your question. One of them, he has a very impressive vision for Ghana. And that impressive vision is...
Who's telling it as impressive?
I mean,
whose measurement is that?
The measure of impressiveness is going to be anchored on the parameters of that vision. Okay? It is an objective assessment of that vision, not a subjective assessment. Everyone will think that whatever he holds is impressive. But to have a vision analyzed as impressive, there must be an objective criteria to ascertaining that. And I'll tell you why I think it is impressive. The vice president's vision, the breadth of that vision is what we have seen in various sectors of the economy. The radical transformation of our public service delivery system, the radical transformation of, provision of services by state agencies, the digitalization agenda that has been given a new breadth under this current government. That is the breadth of that particular vision the vice president is coming with. And I will come to unpack the details because he didn't just mention free agents, he gave a litany of options, but again was quick to add that this is just the brief of that vision, and that he would unveil the detail with time. The vice president is coming with experience. None of the aspirants so far who have filed their nomination form or have picked a nomination form come matching the vice president when it comes to experience in governance and experience in politics. This is a man who has served the party for the first time. In fact, in Africa, I don't know of a person who has been selected as a running mate to a president 4 consecutive times, and opportunity to serve as vice president for 2 terms. That experience is something huge that will bring into the table. The vice president, as I mentioned, is coming with equity and inclusion. He is one of the people that sometimes Muslims will have problem with, that his level of tolerance, the decisions he takes to make sure that, look, we are first human beings before religion. The vice president has attended Muslim programs, has attended Christian programs, even to the extent that some extremists are finding it difficult to understand why the vice president will be tolerant of such inclusion and diversity. The vice president is an advantage guy. Most of the aspirants who are there don't have that trait. The vice president is coming in with an advantage that he has been able to improve the electoral fortunes of the MPP. MPP, prior to the coming of Dr. Bawumia, had about only 2-3 seats in the then northern region. Okay, but in the current northern region, there's what do you call it? There's a split of points when it comes to the parliamentary seats. Okay, in the northeast region, the vice president has commanded majority of the seats. In the Savannah region, when there was not even one single seat occupied by the MPP, they have 3 seats. Okay, and the contribution of the vice, and I remember very recently my senior brother's regional chairman and now national vice chairman of the NDC was caught on tape admitting that it is Dr. Bawumia, or it was Dr. Bawumia, who won the election for the MPP in the last 2016 election and 2020 election. Azoka, Chief Sofo Azoka.
Oh.
Okay.
It was caught on tape?
Yeah, it's not a secret tape, if you like, because it's not to suggest that he was saying something, in closed door, that he was recorded.
In camera.
Yeah, so he mentioned that. Then, if we want...
But then he wasn't caught.
Okay, so...
He just said it.
Anyway, but I can use it in that way because the intent or the purpose for which it was to serve, it's not what it is being used for. For now. So that's why I'm describing it as such.
Okay.
If MPP is interested in breaking the 8, okay, and we will want to see a candidate who will be able to compete favorably with the NDC's candidate, Mr. John Dramani Mahama, then Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia will come handy, and that is what he's coming with. But look, I don't need to belabor his contribution to the party. Started his days back with President J. Kufuor in 2000 and 2008 2002 thereabout, when he was elected. He was put as the co-chairman, chair of the Government Economic Policy Coordinating Committee. Okay, someone being asked to co-chair the Economic Policy Committee of a government. Even his days as at Bank of Ghana is not by no means a small contribution to the MPP fraternity. The vice president was a key member of the team that led to the transformation of our payment system by the introduction of e-switch system. That person has contributed. The vice president was the first.
How effective is e-switch system now today?
I've not seen any problem with that payment system. E-switch system is working. It's still working. I'm even told. The last time I checked, payment of national service personnel was done through that system. Okay, so that system is still working. He was actually the chairman of the Capital Market Committee. And I have to explain a bit about the Capital Market Committee. When Ghana went HIPIC, okay, and he was actually a member or a key member of the Ghana government negotiation team for HIPIC. Okay, so after HIPIC, it was obvious that our access to concessional funding or concessional money for the development or development financing was not going to be one of the readily available options for government. So government needed to explore option of financing development, and access to the capital market was the way to go, especially when your economy is moving from low income to a middle income economy. Access to financial market is very important. And the vice president was the chairman of the Capital Market Committee. And the borrowing that we have experienced under various governments, the favorable terms under which investors come to the country to lend money in the form of treasury bonds into the country, to the government of Ghana, the ability for government of Ghana to raise revenue is based on the framework that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia led to develop for the country. So when you see party communicators, government function, Ministry of Finance officials coming to here, we have had oversubscription of our bond, and that we have had very favorable bond, the coupon rate was very good and whatever. It is based on the work that was done by someone. And Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was the chairman of the Capital Market Committee that led to the framework that was put in place for government to access, funding for the development of the country. Mirani made election petition. The torture, the barrage of questioning that Chachu Chikata had to subject the gentleman Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to, when no other person was willing to mount the witness box. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia took the occasion, felt that if any single person is to defend the MPP, then it has to be me, because I believe that the MPP has given me the opportunity to serve in government at the Bank of Ghana, and I was given the opportunity by the president, now president, to serve as a reality mayor. If all of them are running away, I will mount the witness box. And he performed creditably at the witness box, despite the fact that the case was lost by the majority decision. In the case, he performed creditably, and he came out with his reputation not bruised. That is the person we are talking of. He has made defining lectures that have transformed the course of the politics in our country, lectures that have shifted the paradigm of politics in our country from insult based to issue based. The vice president came in with a new energy that, look, you can really make your point, you can criticize people, you can debate on the policy without actually the propaganda or insult or character assassination that has been part and parcel of our politics. He was the defining moment of our country's
But these
politics.
are the lectures, if you're using these same lectures as one of his trump cards, these are excerpts of lectures have been played several times on these platforms, and you and your campaign team members have raised issues against it, that we are, you know, campaigning or we're doing something against Dr. Bawumia. But if it's something that he has said 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 10 years ago, and we can play, and you are using it as one of his trump card to be the finest to lead the MPP, then it's okay for us to be playing those bites, no?
You see, the vice president lectures is one. The vice president lectures taken out of context to serve a purpose. I'm coming. Taken out of context to serve a purpose is another. Okay? If you would want the vice president to use the vice president address, use it in its entirety.
How?
Okay.
So,
how? Because for instance, if the vice, I'm going to give you an example.
An hour presentation of the vice president. I've taken bites or bits and pieces of areas that he said that are going to be very salient to me in my discussion, or I'm just playing because they're bites that has been said years ago. Am I supposed to play the whole content?
You are supposed to play the context, not the whole content. You are supposed to play that's what I'm saying. That
which is what
everything, everything context matter. Everything without context, there is going to be a vacuum. You can't place something or nothing. Okay, context is very important in everything you do. So, for example, one of the soundbites is that if the fundamentals are weak, the area will expose you. You see, it had gone for a long time until he had to come again and say, look, it will be what logic for you to go to market with such a statement when you do not put the context into perspective. Okay, and there are several of such things. So we only have problem when the statements or the soundbite are divorced from the context the vice president made. Other than that, absolutely no problem. The vice president will take responsibility for every statement he has made, either in opposition or in government. So aside this, the vice president has supported welfare of party members. We have found, you people have reported that in the social media of his supporting party people, and he doesn't even pay for the registration of members in terms of the card. The threat the vice president presents to the NDC is one of the things that we should look at. I mean, why would they abandon the president as the leader of the country? And